I was wondering why the NC750X is so popular. I found 10 reasons why the NC750X is such a popular bike. Stick around until the end of the video to find out what are these 10 reasons. This bike is very popular, especially in Europe. There are plenty of communities formed around the Honda NC750X. Actually, there is quite an impressive community. You can see it even on this channel. Let's find out together what are the advantages which are making this bike so popular and so requested. One of the first reasons why people are buying this bike is because it's a perfect beginner bike. Check out, for example, over here. It's very easy to find the Honda NC. Especially for me in my hometown, it's very easy to find the bike park quite often. So I found also this bike, and guess what? This bike it's also a beginner bike. So as mentioned before, it's this bike is perfect as a beginner bike. It's perfect for a beginner. It's easy to handle, and it's quite an easy first choice. It's an easy choice as a first bike. It's suitable also for men and women in the same time, so that's why it's a great choice for a beginner bike. As a beginner, you're wondering what kind of bike to buy, will be easy to handle for you, and you put all these questions. And when you end up on the Honda NC750X, the bike actually makes the choice easier for you, because it has these points which are making it a perfect beginner bike. Riding around through my hometown, I was very surprised to see so many NCs parked on a sideways or just passing by, and I was really surprised to see how many they are. And I started to ask myself some questions, what people are actually finding on the Honda NC750X to make actually the purchase. Another reason is practicality. The bike is so practical that you don't even imagine. Having this storage compartment. Also the fuel tank is mounted under the rear seat, which makes actually a very well balanced bike. But this storage compartment, it's one of the most practical things mounted on this bike. This bike is very practical in the real life city traffic. It's very easy to struggle through the cars in the city, which makes the Honda NC a great city bike. The next reason is the build quality and the value for money. The build quality, it's in general quite good, starting from the handlebars, then moving to the other parts of the bike. In general, there is quite a good quality. So far the bike proved to be very well resistant, and the build quality, even the plastic quality, it's quite nice. You don't see so many screws and things like that. It's quite a compact build bike. For example, here the signals, they are quite tough, very resistant. They don't fall out so easy. The buttons, quite resistant, very nicely made. Even though I had a small problem with the signal button, it was replaced on behalf of the warranty. But in general, the bike has quite a nice build quality overall. The next one, it's a major reason. It's one of the reasons why I actually bought this bike. It's about the reliability. Maybe you know the Mike Freerider. He's done 229,000 kilometers with the bike with absolutely no major issues except the water pump. Also myself, in almost 50,000 kilometers, I haven't had any major issue with the bike whatsoever. Not with the DCT, with the gearbox, also with the engine. Basically everything was running from the engine perspective, from the engine point of view, absolutely perfect. So the bike, it's very reliable, and it's well known for its reliability. It was proven already. So this is a quite a strong argument, quite a strong purchasing argument for the Honda NC750X. And what's interesting about it is that all the models starting from 2012, 2014 until the 2021, all the models are actually proven to be quite reliable. So reliability, it's quite a strong argument when purchasing a motorcycle, and the Honda NC had this already proven. It's very reliable. It's a bike which you're expecting to last, the engine to run for thousands, even 100,000 of kilometers, and it's quite a strong point over here. The next one, it's the fuel efficiency. I think this is one of the most fuel efficient bikes in the world for its category. Myself, I've made my own record of 2.9%, 2.9 liters at 100 kilometers. So this was my record. I don't think there is any bike at the moment which can consume so less as the Honda NC750X. Usually you get 3.5 liters for 100, 3.3, 3.5. But this is another reason, especially nowadays when the fuel prices have increased so much, especially when you make a lot of kilometers during the year. When you make 20, 30, 40,000 kilometers per year, think about this fuel economy, what you can make on a daily basis. And I think it's a good argument when it comes to purchasing this bike. The fuel efficiency, it's quite amazing. Another big reason for this bike's popularity comes from the DCT gearbox. I mean, DCT gearbox, it's a must. I think this bike should be only with DCT gearbox, if you ask me. This bike, it's meant to be a DCT bike, a dual clutch transmission motorcycle. So the DCT gearbox adds so much value to this bike, to this package, because this bike without a DCT, in my opinion, is not a proper NC. And I'm saying that because I use it quite a lot in the city traffic. I'm using it quite a lot in my travel. when I travel, when I for commuting, for traveling, for city riding, even going to the market, and even I'm using this bike as a delivery bike. So I make deliveries with this bike, and I consider that the DCT Gearbox, it's absolutely a must for this bike. The DCT Gearbox makes this bike complete. And for me at least, it was one of the main reasons I bought this bike, for its DCT gearbox, which also was proven to be very reliable, was proven to be, I'm not saying bulletproof, but at least we saw the owner's reviews, and I saw my experience with the DCT gearbox. It was running quite perfectly well. And even for the 2021 model, the DCT gearbox was very well refined, and it reacts and it runs even better. So I believe in this DCT gearbox future, as I mentioned in one of my videos. So yes, DCT, a good reason for buying this bike. Now the maintenance costs. I think when you're buying a bike, it's quite important not just to think about, okay, I bought the bike, now I have the bike, and what I do with it. So you have to think about also to the maintenance costs, to the service, how expensive is it, how often do I need to make it, and of course how much does it cost me. When it comes to the maintenance costs, the Honda NC has a great advantage. It's a bike very easy to do the maintenance by yourself. For example, changing the brake pads, changing also the oil, the liquids, the air filter. Okay, with the air filter it's quite a little bit difficult, but you can do it. Basically, the maintenance procedures which you have to do this bike, the basic maintenance procedures, are quite easy to make it for yourself, and in this manner you cut some costs, which are quite a lot of costs when it comes to the maintenance. For example, changing the oil is not such a big deal. The oil filters, the oil, I think it's quite easy to make it for yourself, as we already saw in our community. The owners have put their videos with do it yourself. We saw some do it yourself videos, and we realized how easy it is actually to make these basic maintenance procedures for yourself. You can cut the costs. I also made a video for the yearly maintenance costs, which you can see it. I explain in detail how much I paid for each maintenance procedure, which was done to the dealership. So think about it when you buy this bike. Think also about these aspects, you know, because these actually are making a huge difference. And another reason for its popularity, it's that this bike, it's also available for A2 licenses. So if you have an A2 license, you can easily buy this bike and reduce the power and make it available for the A2 riders, A2 license riders. So this increases a lot the spectrum of riders which are able to ride this bike. And yeah, it's quite an argument also for these people. So it's quite an easy. You connect and change the parameters on the ECU, and you make it available for the A2 riders. Another reason, it's that this bike looks very nice. It has a nice design, nice lines, and I think it's a good looking bike. Okay, maybe not good looking, but a decent looking bike. When you're thinking about the design, it has quite slim lines. It's very compact, and it looks quite nice. Last but not least, we're speaking about the availability of this bike. So this bike, it's available, you can buy it, it's available at dealers, it's available, you can find it online. So a good reason for its popularity, it's the availability. It's not like for example the Hayabusa, which is people, they want to buy it but they don't find it so often, or the KTM. I was asking for example for a KTM Adventure 790. They told me it's not so easy to get it. You have to wait 6 months, couple of months, and so on. It's not available. But this bike, it's very available. It's quite easy to get it. I also saw in Portugal that the local police has bought the NC750X as a police motorcycles. So yes, this bike also is produced in a higher amount of pieces, but it's also, therefore it's also very available. So this is one of the reasons which the people, they find it and they buy it. Good reason it's that most of the owners of the bike have promoted the bike in a way that they made actually the bike quite popular. This includes I'm including myself over here also. I'm promoting the bike through my channel, but also I'm promoting because I'm satisfied with the bike. Of course, this bike has also some downsides, which we'll have to speak in another video. But overall, the people which are actually owning the bike are promoting the bike because they are quite happy with it. Honda, it's selling this bike as a do-it-all bike. So people in the past, they were buying a bike and they actually did everything with this bike. They were traveling, they were doing shopping, go to the grocery store, commuting. They were using the bike, the one bike which they had, they were using the bike for all their purpose. So it's a do-it-all bike, comes from the past, when people, they were using, they didn't have bikes, one bike for off-road, one scooter for city riding. They were using their bike for all the activities, off-road, on-road, commuting, and so on. But nowadays this Honda NC offers this package, this do-it-all package, which is quite impressive. I'm still struggling to find out another bike which have this package, and of course it's very difficult to find it, because yeah, that's why the Honda NC is so popular, because other brands, they haven't managed to fulfill the customer needs. Not so many customers are affording to have multiple bikes, one for off-road, one for city riding. They basically cannot afford to have so many bikes. It would be nice to have a specific bike for a specific activity, but let's face it, we all want a bike that does it all. So the Honda NC, it's very close to this ideally do-it-all bike which we all want to have, and that's why it's so popular. To resume all these reasons, we're speaking about a perfect beginner bike, a very practical bike, a very reliable bike, good value for money, fuel efficient, a great DCT gearbox as an option, lower maintenance costs, A2 possibility license, nice design, it's a good looking bike, and it's available. Here you have 10 reasons why the Honda NC is such a popular bike. I'm really glad that you stayed until the end of the video. Until next time, bye bye.